there's a viral story on social media about a student at Columbia University who her professor asked her to read several books, and she went to him and was, surprised and felt like it was unfair because she'd never had to read a book cover to cover in high school and getting to Columbia University. I don't know if you saw this article. This is not an anomaly, right? Student attention has been changed by the advent of the smartphone and social media, right? One thing we know about our attention, our ability to sustain states of concentration and focus, is that it's malleable. And that if you spend a significant part of your life, 5 to 6 hours a day, if you're the average American teenager, in a state where there's constant novel stimulation, you come to require, you don't even need your cell phone anymore to require that state. The state is wired within you. As it gets harder, so students read less and less outside of school, and it's harder and harder to get them to sustain the states of concentration in school. And so I think a lot of schools have given up on requiring students to do things that are hard and challenging, that they no longer have the cognitive wherewithal to do. But ironically, the greatest gift that they can give young people is to cause them to read those books, and to actually, we argue in the book, to rebuild their attentional capacity. But if the cell phone has taught us that attention is malleable, we should get all the screens out of our classrooms, and we should give kids books, and we should ask them to read for 5 minutes straight, and then 8 minutes straight, and then 10 minutes straight. Ideally, this would be like reading aloud together, so there's a social factor to it, and then 12 minutes together, that we wire how we fire, right? That we read the way we practice reading. We will read the way we practice reading. I tell the story of a teenager who required to read for 45 minutes a day. It might or might not be my son when he was a teenager, lying on his back on the couch, reading the same book that I read 30 years beforehand. But when he reads it, every 5 seconds, bzz, dude, over at Byron's, you coming over soon? Bzz, dude, what's the math homework? His experience with the book is fractured. He doesn't sustain the state of attention. He's not as connected to the book because it's constantly, and he's not in the place where the book is. That it's not just that students read less, it's just they read differently and fractured and disconnectedly. And we can accept that, or schools can say, we need to rebuild. We can participate in rebuilding your attentional state. And this is one of the greatest gifts we can give you, to cause you to read for 10 minutes unbroken. And that capacity will serve you for the rest of your life. And this is one of the arguments that we make in the book, that changes in attention and changes in reading habits are one of the least acknowledged factors in literacy instruction. Students simply do not read. For many of the students in our schools, the books that we assign in school will be the only books that they read meaningfully in their youth.